That's good. So today we're going to be talking about your upcoming film Seven Cemeteries. And just right off the bat, I wanted to ask what inspired you to bring this story to everybody?
Well, okay. So the first thing was just to make a movie with Danny. We wanted to do that, and then the other thing is like we love Seven Samurai and Magnificent Seven, and I love guy getting out of jail movies. So we kind of sort of mashed all those together and went to Oklahoma and shot it at a farm, little farm, ranch kind of place. So
That
we moved
that's
we moved all the cattle away because we couldn't have them there because of the noise. But there were some geese there, though. A goose, a duck that were in love with each other, and they would not stop talking. And the cicadas, it was crazy. But
that's amazing. So yeah, I did notice it was somewhat in in that area when I started watching the film. I was super excited when I started seeing him like um doing gathering the group and everything, not to give that many details, but it was super fun and exciting. And what was it that wanted you to work with Danny?
well, I'm just a big fan, but also, the face, and then, I'm a big fan of a lot of movies that he did, like Machete and, those kind of, a lot of Rodriguez movies, and, but we actually tried to make maybe the anti-Machete movie in that, you know, he made those already. We want to make something that's a little bit different, a little bit maybe like if Machete decided he didn't want to be Machete anymore, but he's got to still do it, that type of thing, to help this girl, and then gets together some of his folks. But uh yeah, just I read his book. I read Danny's book, and boy, he's had a wild life, and but I also eat at his restaurant sometimes. So there you go.
Haven't gotten a chance to go to his restaurants. I'll see if I can go one day
Where do
and
you
and
live?
check it.
What area of the world do you live in?
I live in Puerto Rico.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yes, yes. I'm in that small little island. Um, and wanted to know, John, were there any challenges to make this film happen? Because you just mentioned that you had to move the cattle, but being at least for what I've noticed, being a place that's kind of dry. I don't know. Probably I'm wrong, but were there any challenges besides the cattle?
The
Uh,
wind.
the wind.
The wind was
Okay.
insane. And there's these little bugs called cicadas. I don't know if you know them. They go,
Yeah.
they just make a noise, but there just happened to be like some sort of 20-year hatching, that happened. And the sound was so great. You can still hear it on the soundtrack. But we tried to get rid of most of it but it was so loud. It was, it was, I've never heard anything like it. When I first
Okay.
drove there, I opened my door because, I'd been in the car. I drove from Los Angeles to Oklahoma. But when I opened the door, the sound just, it was, unnatural.
Okay. Yeah, here in Puerto Rico we have the little frog, this the coqui. Mostly I have a lot of colleagues and friends that do short films as well. And when it's nighttime, they tell me the same thing, that sometimes the little coqui is like so loud that it bothers them when they're recording. So I imagine that it has to be somewhat the same. And do you have any like fond memory while filming?
Oh, well, yeah. I was thinking about this because everything gives everything away. When you're talking about this, but the problem is with everything is like you're always solving some kind of problem, and then the problem becomes like fun after a while. But just having the I don't know. There's a song in the movie, and everybody was so sure that that was never going to be in the movie, and that I actually had a little just had a little beatbox, that I played it back on, and we just shot it like super fast. And it ended up being, like people like it, it's fun. And but so I enjoy those kind of things, the little things when you're doing something that everybody's like, yeah, it's not going to be in the movie, and then people love that one little thing or something. It's kind of thrilling.
Yeah,
you know
it happens. It happens. And how was it working with Danny? Being you being such a big fan, as well myself. I have seen all of his films, some of them in theaters, some of them in VOD. But you being a big fan of Danny and now working with him, how was that chemistry between both of you?
well, I guess he's okay. He's a very nice guy. um I know that when he was younger, he wasn't, he says. But now, after, he's turned his life around and everything is different. He's just such a sweet guy because he appreciates everything that's happened. He's not like, you can meet other people that are a little snotty, they kind of turn their nose up, at fans, or that maybe something, is beneath them. He doesn't at all. He's just a sweet guy. And his son worked on the movie too.
Oh,
Gilbert.
cool.
Gilbert's a director, and but he played him young in the movie. He played young, Danny. And
Okay.
but he was also what's called the second unit director, where he goes and gets little shots, of like the birds flying out of a tree and things like that. And but we use them. We put them all in there, and then he was so Danny was so proud that his son, was working on this, and so yeah.
That's amazing. And John, this would be my final question for you today. If you could describe Seven Cemeteries with one word, what would it be?
I know it's the wrong word for a horror film, but heart.
Okay. That's a very interesting word for a horror film. Yeah, I completely agree. John, thank you very much for giving us the time to talk about the film, and I hope that everybody enjoys it when it releases. And I hope to see you once again in another film.
Yes, me too.
Thank you
It
very
means
much.
I'm not dead yet.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Bye.